Welcome everyone to another episode of Mothership Gaming. In this episode, I'll be talking about Final Fantasy 15 and its Platinum demo. I'll be doing an in-depth analysis, but especially I'll be talking about the graphics. Now this is the beginning of the demo. You can see here Child Noctis, or whatever his name is. And I have to say something right from the get-go. The game doesn't look bad visually, but is not exactly what other Final Fantasies have been in the past. As in, it's really not impressive. Now, you could see these graphics in a good looking PS3 game. But this being a PS4 game and a game for the Xbox One, it really doesn't look that impressive. Especially after you have seen what the machine can do, what these machines can do, especially in the order, and you're gonna see that again with Uncharted 4. Here you can see a little bit of the world. I'm going through the options. Nothing major there. Here you can see the foliage. You can get these little orbs in the demo. For instance, you can see the hair on Noctis' character going up and down. That's a really nice detail. Nothing looks terrible, but the textures, on the other hand, look very, very watered down. The animation here is a little bit stiff, but that's okay. This is an RPG after all. It's not an action game. Okay, now I'm doing a little bit of a dodge. More orbs. As you can see, the textures here on the stones. Yeah, it's not pretty. Now, I don't know how big the game will be in terms of size. I hear people saying that the game will be very, very big, even bigger than The Witcher. And if that is true, if you have a world map that is gigantic and you can explore the entirety of it, and they have shown that you will have a flying car to work as a ship, maybe later in the game you will actually have a big ship to fly around. In that way, even if the graphics are not amazing, that could be explained. You have this huge world and you don't need great textures for that. You really don't want the loading times to be gigantic. So therefore, having a game that doesn't look that great is not that much of a problem. People that play Fallout 4 know exactly what I'm talking about. Someone is calling me. Anyway, I had a call there, sorry about that. Back to the video. Now you're seeing here one of the summonings, because I pressed that thing over there. I was talking about graphics and continuing in the conversation. Well, you don't need a game to look amazing just like Fallout 4 if you have a rich and diverse world. You just don't need it. The Witcher 3 looks really good for the size of the world, but keep one thing in mind. The Witcher 3 had a lot of areas that had loading screens between them. Instead of being a true open world, it was much more like a open area kind of game than a true open world, like Xenoblade Chronicles. In this case, Xenoblade Chronicles X. Right here I see a puddle of water in the video. Carbuncle is communicating with me. This fluffy, cute, whatever this is. Anyway, now I'm trying to see the reflections of this puddle. As you can see here, the real-time reflections on this puddle are not that great. They do reflect the floating orbs, but they don't reflect your character. The water effects are nice, but they're really nothing special. You've seen this kind of water effects for 10 years now. When you jump into the water, you also don't see anything when it comes to splashes, nothing realistic. There's absolutely no reflection when it comes to your character. What's going around here? A lot. Now, right in front of me, there's still, this is not the moment where I go in the video. Yeah, you can clearly see the sky here, at least. It also doesn't reflect the stones or the foliage. Now I go here to change the 90-day cycle. The light effects are not bad. Pretty neat, but nothing amazing. Everything seems well constructed when it comes to the geometry of the world, but it's not necessarily impressive. This is the thing. This area is very, very small. For such a small area, since we don't know how big the world map is and how much of it you can explore, it's hard to take in these textures and say that, well, they look like this, but it's because the world is huge. We don't know this. And this is where I think the demo fails. Now I'm really interested in this puddle. You can clearly see the reflection of the orbs there, all the shadows on the walls of the stones, the stars there. When it comes to the animation of the boy's clothes, of your protagonist's clothes, everything looks really nice. Now this is like an early day when it comes to the 19-day cycle. Everything looks nice, but yeah, not exactly amazing. It's always a problem with Final Fantasies. These are the games that always impress you visually, and when one of them doesn't, everyone complains because they have learned to expect this from a Final Fantasy. Now the problem with this demo is that these areas were made specifically for the demo, especially the next area where you are in an oversized house, or you're playing as a very small person inside a normal size house. Anyway, here I'm just trying to get that last orb. Anyway, right in front of this, I think we're going to face, there's still another. Yes. This is also an important part when it comes to graphics. I was almost forgetting about this. The weather system. Now will start to rain, and you can see there's a few wet effects on the clothes of the boy. Effects on the water and on the stone here. It's not exactly amazing. You have seen this all before, and it doesn't look terrible, but I wish there was something more. When it comes to the water reacting to the skin of the characters, it seems that there's not much going on there. The clothes definitely look wet, and that's a good thing. You know, when I want to have weather effects and that not affecting the world around you, it looks nice, but yeah, not exactly impressive. Still a few more orbs here. Now finally, I can talk about the combat system. Let's see here. Yeah. Now you have these monsters that look like they came straight from Kingdom Hearts. And when it comes to the combat system, it's very reminiscent of that game. Especially because you use toy weapons. You have this toy sword and this toy hammer. This toy hammer. Still can use any spells here. Let's see if I can kill these enemies. How the hell does this work? Now the combat is a little bit stiff. One of the main problems I had with Kingdom Hearts was exactly that. Combat is not as fluid as I would want it to be. You're not as fast with your attacks and dodges as I would want it to be. There's also the problem here with everything seems automatic. You don't actually need to press buttons for him to attack. You just keep pressing that circle button and he'll just attack automatically. When it comes to dodging, it's the same thing. You keep pressing that square and he will just dodge automatically. And sometimes it feels like the game just plays itself. Of course, it's a very small enemies, very weak enemies. Truly hope that the bigger battles will be more complex when it comes to their mechanics. Here you have a lake, you can see all that reflections, but here's the first thing that I was just face palming throughout the demo. An open world game, but it doesn't let you swim. I mean, are you kidding me? I truly hope this is just a demo, because if you can't swim in the final game, it'll just be a giant disappointment. I mean, come on. Okay. That's the passage to the next level, but I forgot. There's a little thing to the left. A little bit more orbs. And now you can see this creature coming out of this lake off in the distance. Right there. And you can see there's no effects on the water. This might be a nitpick, but this is one of the moments where you want to wow the people playing this demo. And it doesn't look impressive at all. It's just, hey, there's something going off in the distance. These giant creatures just came out of the sea, of this lake, but yeah, that's about it. No effect on the water. Not very impressive. Okay, I'm going back to the portal and to the next area, which is where you go to the house, if I'm not mistaken, and you can drive a car. Now you'll have a loading screen here. I left the loading screen in so you could see how long the load is, which is kind of important. The next area is a peak area because you're in a normal house as a very small person, like in the size of an ant. Let's see how long it takes to load. Now the load are not gigantic, but yeah, this is just one area. As you can see here in the water, there's a reflection of carbuncle, but not of your character. It's very frustrating. Because I've seen these types of reflections since the PS2 days, so I was expecting something more. Now it gives fireworks, right? Another plate to change the 90-day cycle. Okay, here you can see the light effects. Everything looks neat. It looks okay, it doesn't look bad. All the floor seems very shiny. Now I'm trying out this combination of attacks. It really doesn't feel that you get much from combining the two weapons. You can use one weapon after the other and combine them, but while I was fighting, I didn't get a lot from that. Now here exploring. I'm gonna use fireworks here as a spell, so I can destroy that. Maybe another time. Now to my left, there's this things kids play with normally. I'm gonna go there and try out the physics engine to see how they work. They're not bad. They're not bad. Now you get to push these things and make them fall. These pieces of wood that normally kids play with, they're not bad. I've definitely seen better, but this is not the point where I would say the game fails or the demo fails. I'm gonna push the rest of it because why not? I was hoping that those things would fall on top of the character and kill it. Too bad that doesn't happen. I'm gonna push some more. There you go, destruction, destruction. I was also tried to... There's a little bit of platforming you can do. He has a very small jump, but it's nice that you can get on top of these objects. And the physics engine for an RPG, they're not bad at all. I really want to see if you actually have platforming, precise platforming, in the last build of the game, when the game releases. A few cards. I was expecting here some Easter eggs when it comes to Kingdom Hearts. I didn't find any. Maybe I just missed something. But this whole demo feels a lot like Kingdom Hearts, especially these enemies. Now I'm using here the fireworks. I don't know if you're gonna have a spell that works like this, but for by the looks of it, spells in this game are gonna work like grenades. You throw the spells and then they explode, just like you see here. They have an area of effect. They can hit multiple enemies. But the combat seems to be very streamlined. Of course, we haven't had the ability to play a final build. Right here, you see me chaining the attacks, switching between the weapons. The hammer is much heavier and pulls enemies away when you hit them. But the sword is quicker. Okay, I think this is a car. Oh, absolutely. Now you get a car. Now driving the car, like you would expect as something that is optional and secondary in this game, it's not amazing. This is not a Gran Turismo. This is not a Need for Speed. They're not terrible, but you're not going to have a lot of fun driving this car. It's doable, but there's not a lot of physics going on. You can't drive very fast. The controls are a bit stiff. Here I was trying to get up there with the car. I don't think it's possible. It would be nice though, but I don't think it's possible. I also want to talk about this, the song, especially the song of that first area. I wasn't really feeling it. I don't think that song really fits that well. It doesn't give me doesn't give me the right emotion, I think. Doesn't make me feel anything, nor excitement, or this is a nightmare, or a dream, or something of the sorts. The music for the next area I really like. I think it gives you a sense of excitement and a sense of epicness. But the song of the first area, not really. Now I hear I'm trying all this. If I can do different stuff. It seems that driving in this game is just going to be going from one location to the other in the highway. You'll only be able to drive the car in the highway. And that will be about it. Now you're on top of this magazine. Again, I was trying to find some Easter eggs of some kind, some references. Right now, this really feels like Micro Machines. If you're old enough to remember those Mega Drive or Genesis Micro Machines games, this is very makes me remember of that very much. A lot of nostalgia. You can also bump into this thing, these wood things. Collecting some more orbs. Here, I think I'm gonna get a new spell. Animal Instinct. I don't know what that is. It really feels like this world will be much more realistic than previous Final Fantasies. Okay, I have more enemies here. Here I was trying out. Really tried to see what else I could do. You can clearly see me that every time I hit them with the hammer, they pull away. Feel like using the hammer as a last attack will feel more like a final attack thing. I also tried to get inside these teacups, but no, didn't happen. Really hope that the game would show us real enemies that are going to be in the game instead of these slightly altered versions. You'll be able to fight a classical Final Fantasy enemy, which is your last enemy, like a boss type, the boss of the demo at the last area. Here I can't come into the teacup. That's just too bad. Day-night cycle, if I'm not mistaken. Seeing my Thunderbolt, yeah. I step on a plate and now it's day. Am I gonna go to another area? Okay, now the demo is saving, but I don't know why. When you play the demo, you can't go back where you left the demo. You need to start from the beginning. I don't see any other way besides that one. Now, there's a loading screen here. Let's see if it takes a lot. Yeah, this is taking quite a while now. Okay, now we'll show you the next area. It looks like an European city, like Italy. It's giving me almost a Bioshock Infinite vibe going on. So yeah. Here I had to quit the game. Okay, I had to quit. This is the exactly same area. I was here before and I forgot to record. That's something you shouldn't do. Anyway, it's night cycle, but it's the exact same area. There's not much to do here. There's a few enemies. It's the exact same enemies that you had to find in the previous areas. This area had a lot of, like I said, this European architecture. It felt a little bit like Assassin's Creed. I guess they're going with that in the final game. It gave me a little bit of a Bioshock Infinite vibe. And now I think this is the final area. This area that we've just been into, I really like the soundtrack here. This song is very nice. Gives you a sense of epicness and excitement. I think this is going to be the final area and the last area of the demo and the video, where you'll fight a classical Final Fantasy enemy. Okay, that wasn't that big of a loading screen. Yeah, absolutely This will be the final area. I think this area will definitely be in the game. And you will fight here when you play the final version of the game. I think this is the capital city. This is the building where the main character's father works in, something like that. Okay, the architecture here is nice. There's a certain relation with realistic buildings that we have now, in a sense of fantasy, in a sense of old buildings with old architecture, architecture of made in marble, that sort of thing. There's a really European style to it. Now, if you're a fan of Final Fantasies, you know what this enemy is. Sort of a tank, a lot of HP, very tough. Now this is a cutscene. Really hope that any cutscenes graphics are much better. Although they will try to make a little bit of a relation between the graphics in cutscenes and in when you're playing the game normally, because if not, you're gonna see a huge difference, and that will be a bit awkward. Now you can see this beast is massive. Can hit me from very far away. You can see the dodge here. He's hitting me with also a classical spell from Final Fantasy. Although I don't know what they call it here in this game. It's a gravity spell. It pulls you from very far away. It's very nice. Here you can see him choosing between the weapons. It's the same principle. The normal sword is fast. The big sword is slow, but deals much more damage. Here I'm trying out the combat system. Try to make sure I explore it to the fullest. Try to understand what I can and can't do. There's that dodge here. As you can see, that dodge doesn't really make you escape that much from that gravitational field. He has a lot of reach. There's some destruction on the ground that I think soon disappears. It's a nice touch, anyway. Now being obliterated here. But it doesn't matter, you can't die in this demo. That was a nice dodge right there. It's good to see that if with enough timing, you can dodge properly. It almost feels like a Souls game in that way. Seems that there's not a lot of tracking to this guy's attacks, and that's great. If you're gonna go for a real-time combat system, might as well be one that works and doesn't have a lot of tracking. Now I was talking about tracking, and you definitely get pulled towards the enemy if you do a combo attack. Your character will start attacking in the air automatically. There's another play here. I think it gave me a spell. Okay. There's another automatic thing that happens. The game will tell you to defend. If you do it, you'll get a great opportunity to attack. It's a bit cheap, in my opinion. I think it should be you that decides where is the the correct timing, instead of the game just telling you on the screen, dodge now or defend now. Okay, give me this dodge. This dodge is very useful. It consumes MP, if I'm not mistaken, when you use it. You can use this dodge to get away from that gravitational attack. As you can see, there's a lot of destruction here, but it's temporary. It's a nice touch, but I wish it lasted longer. It would be really nice to see everything destroyed around you when you're facing such giant beasts. Here you have the special attack of the swords that you have seen so much in 10 years, really. You could see that this giant just destroyed that lamp or whatever that was with his sword. Okay, nice touch. That sword attack, I think it works as defense and offense. Now the game is telling me you can dodge towards those poles, those lamp lights. Now I dodge this attack, and I can do an attack that deals much more damage than normal. You can see the dodge here. I think you can pass them through the enemy. Here the giant did a special attack and literally killed me. You don't have a kill normally. You have you go down just like in shooters. I think your party will revive you if they are up. And that's the point of the game. It's a bit strange. I don't know how that will work. I hope the combat doesn't turn into a very easy combat where you can't die. Basically. So here, I'm here using the special ability to teleport myself. I was trying to see what he would do since I'm so high up. Here you can see the perfectly rendered shirt and hair. Okay, I think he cut off the pole. Yeah, he cut off the pole. Here I dodged. I can do attacks. Yeah, we are approaching the end of the video. I almost killed this guy. Finally getting the hang of it. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to make sure this was possible. And from how far away. You can use the dodge to actually get close to the enemy and use that as an attack. And I think you can go through him. As in, if you can go through some solid objects, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, we're getting to the end of the demo and the end of the video. Here we're trying to look at the building. It looks impressive, but this is a small area. I will not know if in a final build of the game you will need a loading screen to get here. I think you will. Yes. Now it shows you the day and night cycle. Nice light effects. And you get a car. Okay. I have to say that this little creature, this little carbuncle, is adorable. And I don't trust kids that don't pet cute animals like these. Seriously, what is wrong with you? And it's the end of the demo. I think now the demo will ask me to buy the game. It'll be a very strange. He asks you to name him. I decided to just name him Carbuncle. And yeah, that's the end of the video. And the end of my analysis. If you have anything to say about my video or the demo in itself, or if you think the graphics are not downgraded, if you think the graphics suck, the demo sucked, or that Final Fantasy 15 will suck when it finally releases in September, please do so in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.